Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next podcast. This time we're going to talk about influencers, streamers. We have a great chat with a guy called Eric from one of the leading streamers called CasinoDaddy. Check it out.
Welcome to this latest episode in the What's Up Yggdrasil series of podcasts. My name's Stuart Darkin. I'm the Director of New Media at Square in the Air, and I'm joined again today by Fredrik Elmqvist, who's the CEO and founder of Yggdrasil. I'm also joined by Eric and Kristian from CasinoDaddy. And that's because today we're going to be talking about casino streaming in a session entitled Playing for Kicks, Why Streamers Are Here to Stay. We're going to talk about the streaming community, its impact on the industry, and how Yggdrasil works with streamers. But first, we should do some quick introductions. So, Fred, Eric, Kristian, if you don't mind taking 30 seconds each just to introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, here we go. I'm Fred. Been in the industry for quite some time. Started off with sports betting, went to the casino 2008 something. And I've been really enjoying this. And I'm heading up a company called Yggdrasil, done that for some time. And today I'm here to talk with these great streamers about the streaming.
Yes, my name is Eric. Nice to see you guys, as always. I've been in the industry for 5 years, been streaming for 5 years, 23rd of April. So streaming on YouTube and on Twitch, the platforms, and very active on social medias as well. We have a close connection with our community and the viewers that have the common interest, and that's pretty much gambling and everything about slots and table games, pretty much.
All right, I'm Kristian, and I am a key account manager for CasinoDaddy or Yggdrasil Media. I work with talking with providers and making sure that we get the best content available for our community and our viewers. And of course, Yggdrasil is one of our key partners because you guys have been great at helping us out with you don't mind funding some good ideas. It could be, for some marketing and so on to make sure that we can bring the funniest moments on our stream, of course, in collaboration with great providers such as yourself.
And I wonder, Fred, what you've learned about your games and about your business now you have this new relationship.
Sure. Now, the thing is this, I actually like to be engaged in certain of those interfaces here and there, just to keep my finger in there. And I gotta say that I learned a lot during last year on the perception of our games to an extent that I start to question certain things we did in the roadmap. So you're going to see it already from May and onwards this year, a flavor, I would say, math profiles and more math profiles that has changed due to our interactions with streamers. I mean, we even had in the kickoff 2019, we had Chipmunks. Alvin Chipmunks, the British streamer. He came and talked to the entire company, awakened the entire company around this phenomenon of streaming. And that changed, and we started from then on having workshops and discuss, because we had an interested player community, someone who was an expert on the community, what they said. So we started to engage that early, and I think you see it already from May this year and onwards. It actually had an impact on the roadmap.
I'm interested in how you recruit, how you pick streamers. They have to be engaging and they have to be entertaining. So where do you find them?
I mean, I would say there is a different part of streamers out there right now. We have the fairly newer ones that is actually owned by quite big affiliate companies. And we have us, like the traditional streamers, that is more like private persons. And for us, we need people that we can trust. So playing with our money, handling the stream, you don't want to get banned. You want people you can trust, basically, and to take care of the stream and the community.
But they need to be performers too, right? They need to be engaging on camera.
Yes, of course. But that's a thing that you can teach, I would say, almost anyone to be interactive. I think interactive is the most important thing. sure, you could have some that is super entertaining, and I mean, it's if you want someone you trust to handle your stream, like it's so much money that's in like that is like if the stream would get banned, that would be like a big loss. So if we would hire someone and like something would happen, you know, or like he wouldn't want the best for us, he could easily get our channel banned when he's streaming. Like, so for us personally, I would say that the main factor that is that it's someone we trust. Yep. And close friends, basically. And then we try and like always push on being more entertaining, push on interacting more with the chat, for example. But I would say like that's us. And then we have the big affiliate companies that is starting up streams. Like it's like they're starting up new streams every day. They're recruiting like entertaining people and yeah, I would say that's like quite a big difference from our stream.
Yeah,
we are more on like personal level with the viewers than business level with a lot of entertainment and not that close contact with the viewers. So I would say that it's completely different, almost. I would say.
I'm talking about the audience. What really gets them going? When does the chat really explode? What are the hooks that really engage them?
I would say it differs so much, but if you're looking at like our loyal viewers, they want to see like you playing the game, trying to get the bonus, trying out new games, and playing like one slot machine per time, talking and interacting with them like on a social level. And then we have the one part of the viewers is more they switch all around a lot on the channels. They try and find out who is doing the most expensive bonus buys, who's doing the biggest bets, you know, and so on. So I would say it differs a lot from what type of viewer we're talking about. But I can tell for sure that if you're doing bigger bets and you're gonna gain more viewers, basically more of the new viewers and the viewers that is switching around on the channels a lot, I would say.
Okay. So if Yggdrasil or anyone else comes to you with a title and you play it and it's a good experience for the streamer and it's a good experience for the audience, do you have a sense that the players watching will actually go off and play the games themselves?
Definitely. I mean, we can just it's hard for us to track
of course,
what the players are doing regarding the providers. But let's say the casinos, like if we have a casino in the panel under the stream where it's just a link, basically, it differs so much than if we're playing on the casino, like in terms of NDCs, basically.
Okay.
It's like day and night if we're playing on the casino ourselves or if we're just promoting it through a link in chat or in profile. So it differs a lot, I would say.
So Fred, this is all good stuff, right? This is what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. I want to revisit something Eric said before as well about streamers as the face of the industry. And it strikes me this is a relationship built on trust because you're entrusting streamers, as are other developers, with your brand, right? They are the face often of the brand to the player market. So how do you feel about streamers as the face of the industry, as gatekeepers?
No, but I actually think that they can be a very, very important part of a kind of a self-regulatory industry because they can put demands on the new operators coming in. They can, in terms of having the right service levels, catering for the players. They can also align expectations for suppliers or tell us what we could do better as well for the players. Bringing value to the players, their community, and also to the operators. So I think they actually they can take a really, really important role here, bring a lot of value for the industry. But as you said, there's still a bit of a very different strategies amongst the streamers. Some of them have a very aggressive model, maybe have a different kind of player behavior and driving the industry in this one direction, and others like CasinoDaddy, Casino Grounds are driving in a different direction. And I think the future will a bit dictate what model will prevail. There's no regulation in this area today with affiliation and streaming. They might talk about it, but I don't even know. I know that some of them are sitting under public listed entities, and they might have to adhere to different governance in general. Some of them are not. maybe endorsing more, Curacao business. So it is a bit of a wide field today in the streamers, as it is within the B2C operators in general. So for us as a provider, we need to tread carefully and see who we partner with. So for us, we rather partner with the ones that we know are doing it right, instead of taking the risk of working with everyone. So we have more of a curating selective model. And one thing that me and Eric talked about during the break here was the model of the streamer is also an enabler of creativity. And that is, as our publishing model is enabling creative studios to come to market and launch quickly, at the same time, they are enabling new creative B2C operators to come to market quickly as well. They could be very talented. They could have a very, very interesting UX offering, and they can be a great channel with a great audience. So I think that will also keep the market dynamic. So they can take the role of the ombudsman, they can take the role of the enabler, and they can also go a darker route. But as we know, always, the Jedi always wins. The good guys always wins in the end.
Yeah, like Frederick said, I totally agree with him. Like we have like I said during the break as well, like we are like one player, but we're like 10,000 players or 20,000 players within one player. So what we do, we can easily channel our players where we want, basically. And we built that up with trust and liability for our viewers, basically. So let's say we play a new game, we play it before release, we build up the hype on the game, and on the release day, our viewers is going to play it because they've seen us play it, they've seen us talk good about it, we've showed the game, the possibilities and everything. So, like Frederick said there, I think it's we can be the ombudsman for sure.
I want to pick up on that notion of playing the game prior to release. From the publishing side, I was always surprised when I got a PR for a new game launch and realised it had been streamed or reviewed 3 months earlier. So what is that process? How is that early access to the game, and how are you getting early access to the games?
I think, Kristian, you could take that one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that would be, because I'm basically, as I said, I'm a key account manager for the key providers. So I see the back end, among others, Yggdrasil, and it differs from provider to provider how early they have their demo links out of a certain game. But I would say, when you say about feedbacking to development, that is not an option, even though sometimes I would like to give my input for because, I watch a lot of demo slots from the big providers, so obviously I see a lot of trends going on and so on. But I would say typically 1.5 to 1 month in advance before either an exclusive release with an operator or the general release on the entire casino network. So that would be 1.5 to 1 month in advance, and that would be with the demo version very often, and also assets in terms of banners and thumbnails and screenshots of the game, high quality. That I then can process to our content writers, and they can start making reviews and so on. But as for on the stream, we never play demo versions of any game, even though it's a very hype coming. We haven't done that, at least, because we want to keep it, for the real money and so on. And even though we tell our viewers that this is going to be a demo play because we want to showcase something, people are still going to be like, yeah, you're playing for fake funds, and we've avoided that thus far, I'd say. But yeah, that would be that's my initial thought on this.
Okay.
We have done a few, I just wanted a little bit of input there. We've done a few world firsts lately. It's been a quite popular thing that's been requested from the providers. So let's say we're playing a game the day before it's actually released exclusively on a site, let's say Casumo, and we have a promotion on the game and we play it the day before the release. With real money through Casumo and let's say a provider, basically. So they just give us a link, we go in and play real money, and we have a promotion along that, basically.
And in that sense, you're creating a media event too, a marketing opportunity for everyone.
For us as well, with the content as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, can I just give you one thing there, and that is, I think the ones who are releasing the game reviews and snippets of games and demo plays and so forth. That is the search, the SEO guys, affiliates, because they need to take rank, they need to take positions. No one wants to find something about the game. They need to be out early. So that's a different story. That's usually not endorsed by the provider. It's just happening because we give the games available for play in our environments. In our own, not usually staging so early, but when it goes into our source, where it's like a client area, that's when the things comes out. It's very hard to get involved in trying to go out in YouTube or Google and strike that, because in the end they're promoting your games.
And I'm interested, Fred, in how the streaming community now gives you some almost real-time, real-world feedback. And I wonder what that different feedback has meant for your business. There must be great value there.
Well, indeed. I mean, as you said, I mean, we received, we get BI data, so we can see network performance, individual performance, certain markets and so forth, player segments on a data level that we can get. But we never get the actual player identity. We get the generic ID. So we never see the identity of the player. We don't see the user experience. We get the user experience from developing the game, conceptualizing, and then testing it. You can testing it with UX UI partners and so forth. But there's nothing better, and I think I said it previously here as well. There's nothing better than to test it in the real audience, in the real environment. And not only here can we see the streamers play, because that's one thing, and they can feedback. But what I think was key here is to see their community, their reactions, whether it comes from the live streams or the communication and the all of that happening outside. Well, I think that's very important. When it comes to game development, yes, we see the appetite for variance has increased. I think you heard it previously about is the max X, how much is the big win and so forth. And that is it is almost also it's an interesting other side of that. On the other side, you have the operator saying, cap the max wins. We don't want to pay out too much, because if you have a €1 million win on a single spin, most probably you're not going to turn that money over in the next couple of days or the next weeks. You might cash out, and that could be having a serious impact. And especially then if you are a listed operator, all of a sudden you're going to say, sorry, in the third quarter we had a lot of high rollers winning in the casino. You're never going to hear that. You hear it on the sports book. But I think with a chase of the max bets, you could actually have that impact. So we see streamers wanting higher max wins. We see the operators saying, yeah, that's good, but take it down a notch. So we're sitting there listening to taking in feedback from various industry players. So we need to think about the end user. We always think about the user experience. And that is to be able to win some money and create that excitement around it. And of course, we align that with the ones who's representing the industry, the players the best, which means the streamers, or other types of forums. Honestly, there are other forums as well, test groups and so forth. But indeed, we do monitoring what's happening when the stuff comes out in that situation. We're listening to a lot of streamers. We might invite some of them as well in concept phases. We say, hey, where do you think things are going now, etc. But we cannot let the streamers only dictate what's going to be, or how the roadmap is going to be created, because that not be completely aligned with what the actual operators who in one end actually getting the players' money in, that we are then kind of sharing as revenue. So, yeah, that's reality,
I'd like to look to the future now a little. I wanted to ask you, Fred, perhaps all of you, about possible collaborations between streamers and providers. We've seen some successful projects of that nature already, streamers and developers teaming up to produce slots. Will we see more in the future?
Well, I think that everything is doable. I think it's all going to end up being a commercial discussion. Who's going to take the risk for doing what, and branding, and who owns the IP, and so forth. It's a bit like doing custom games for. I mean, there's various ways of how this could play out. You know, you have the way that NetEnt did Dead or Alive. They were going a game. They actually made it together with Casino Grounds. Casino Grounds was engaged in the project, giving feedback, and they also, have a feedback on the gameplay, and they also made a part of actually making of Dead or Alive 2. Or you can do. I mean, I think Casino Grounds has been the ones who are doing this the most, to be honest, because I think deep down, Kim wants to be a game designer. That's what I think. And in his dreams, he wants to be a game designer. No, but I'm just saying that they did a different project there with Iron Bank, as we've saw, with Relax. And maybe other streamers won't pick that up because it is Iron Bank is from another streamer. Could it be competitive? I don't know. I've seen it being picked up across streams anyway. So I think we, as a supplier, as a game developer, we are open for all sorts of collaborations. I mean, especially we sit now as being the publisher. We have 25 studios plus our own connected. And I'm sure there could be some match there to be made for anyone who feels that they want to do something. Because in that it feels like they want to branch into do some game design together with us as a project or this. We are definitely open. If it could be together with one operator, I really don't know. We are open for discussions. That's for collaborations. I think that is one of our key things in going forward is increased collaboration, local collaboration. Through marketing partners with operators or whatever. We are open for all sorts of collaborations.
I would just ask you to sum up the growing importance of streamers to Yggdrasil and to the Yggdrasil business now and going forward.
Yeah, well, as I said previously, kind of summarizing this, I think that these kind of collaborations with the marketing partners, the influencers, such as CasinoDaddy and the streamers, that's going to be even more important for us. That gives us the connection to the players, and that is where we see the user experience of what we develop being actually experienced, and that's where we can get the real feedback. And I'm going to say that the innovations in this industry, as in all other industries, and it's going to come from the real innovations in the user experience, and that's its full stop. And that's how we need to be out there in the trenches where the players actually are, and get our innovations tested as much as possible. And there they will keep on having a really, really important role as being representatives there. But it's all going to be about the user experiences, and that is basically it. Whether the game is a slot game or whatever kind of game it is, it's going to be the UX. Whether that is the gambling experience, the high wins, whatever. But it's all going to be about the UX, and that's why we need a game developer needs to work closely with the ones who sit on the players. And as you said, representing 20,000 players, well, that's a big chunk of data you can get just there.
Okay, thank you all so much. Thanks, Fred, Eric, Kristian. I'm sure we'll talk again about streamers and the slot sector, and I look forward to it. Until then, take care. Thank you.
Super. Thank you.
Ciao,
guys. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day. Ciao, ciao.